Good morning and welcome to what will be episode 1 of our new Car Forum YouTube channel for Car 4 gyms. We decided that we wanted to put together, this is something that Wayne had an idea for a very long time, to put together an online tutorial package for our valued members, and we decided to go ahead. So this is going to be episode 1. My name's Hollie McVitie. I work for, my business is Joy Training, and I'm aligned with Car 4 St Lawrence. And I wanted to take you through a little legs workout, which is for every level of person, because you can just do as much as you can do, or you can be as technical as you want to be. I'm a weight training specialist. That's what I love. I believe that's what can most transform your body and give you the strength and functional fitness to then go off into other areas of sport. Therefore, one simple movement can be taken to many different levels. That's what's so cool about it. It's very inclusive. So I think I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exercises with you, and everyone can do them, but to varying degrees. You will notice that I have drawn some muscles on my leggings. This is to help you understand what you're working when you're working. It's not what you do, it's how you do it that matters. And so I want you to understand so that when you are training, you can feel into that body part. That's what makes all the difference. And mind-muscle connection is a real thing. It's a neural pathway between your brain and your muscle. So that's what I really want to translate to you today. I'm very lucky to have someone to film me so he can follow me around as we're going through, and we're going to make this into a really nice video for you guys. And this is hopefully something that you can use in the gym. So I'm going to stop talking and get straight to it. We're going to go to exercise 1. I am someone that there's many different ways of setting up your exercises, but I like to warm up the small body parts first before I go into a big compound movement. Big compound means many muscles. This is what I would call an accessory movement. So it's really hitting your quads. And we've got 3 parts to the quads. Main one down the front, rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, this is your outer sweep. And then on the inside, you've got a smaller muscle, vastus medialis, which is your teardrop, because it's a teardrop shape. We're just going to be working the front of your thighs on this exercise. But we've got to set it up correctly, and that's where most people struggle. So on this piece of life fitness equipment, leg extension, we've got a little handle down here. So I'll let Matt go in so he can see. You're going to pull this handle out, and that will change the position of the seat, whether you're moving it forward or backwards. It's a little bit stiff. Thanks, Matt. Oh, there you go. So you can choose whether you want to sit further back or further forward. Personally, I prefer to sit really far forward because I want to be able to curl my legs under the chair as much as I can to really lengthen the quads. Once you've got your back rest where you want it to be, where it feels comfortable with your knees off the edge, you're going to pick your weight. And because we're going to do an exercise called countdown burns, do not go too heavy because you will not make it. This is tough. Just so you know, you've got a power button here. And if you want to, if it's too much of a jump, because the weights go up in 7.5, so if you want, you could just choose 2.5 or 5 if you're ready to go up a little bit but not a full pin. Here, with this handle, you get to choose where the pad sits on your shin, anterior tibialis. So I don't like to have it too close to my tarsal bone. It feels uncomfortable on my foot, so I like to have mine right up on my shin. But you can choose, there's no right or wrong, it's what feels comfortable for you, so play around. Generally, longer limbs, you're gonna wanna have the handle on like large or XL. Little limb like mine, short. So, what we're gonna do is close our legs underneath the machine. I like to put my legs under as much as possible. So I like to put it right far forward on the most forward hold. That means my quads are lengthened as much as possible to get the most out of the movement. That's totally fine if you can't do that. If your knees won't allow that, then you can just start your legs from here, okay? So this is just, we're going for optimal, but work within your range. Once I'm here, I'm thinking I've got to hold my bum down in the seat with my hands, because when it gets heavy, the bum wants to rise off the seat, and that's bad for your lower back. I also want to keep my feet flexed. personally. Now, you don't have to. There's other ways, right? Because you can point your toes, but I like to flex my feet because then I really do feel it in my quads a little bit more. So with this movement, countdown burns, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go 1 and slowly down. And you're going to keep an eye on the weights. And just before they touch, you come up. 1, 2, slowly down. So you see, we're always going slow when we're lengthening. We're coming up, hold, 1, 2, 3. And at this point, I'm contracting the quads. That means that they're filled with blood, they're tight. And then we're going slowly down, controlling the lengthening phase, keeping my feet flexed, slow, 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 up, 4, 3, 2, 1, holding this contraction for 4, slowly down. And we're gonna do that all the way till we get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Feel that contraction, 15 feet flexed, holding underneath, and then slowly coming down. And that would be your last rep. So the exercise there is you're holding the contraction. It's not what you do, it's the way that you do it. There's many different ways to approach these one single exercises to make them work for you. And guess what? If 15 is too hard, you could just go to 10. You can lower the weight. There's many other things. You can do single-legged work, but I'm just giving you one exercise here. Countdown burns. Hold for 1, hold for 1, 2, hold for 1, 2, 3, and work your way along. Now we're doing a superset today. So here, we've done our quads. Now we're going over to my favorite piece of cardiovascular equipment. Come with me. A lot of people are nervous to use this one. It's new to this gym. I've always used these to get in condition for my competitions for bodybuilding. Don't be nervous to use it. It's for everybody. This is the best piece of cardiovascular equipment we've got, but it's also conditioning for your legs. You're building your legs by constantly climbing. Here's how we're going to do it. We've done our set on here. We come straight here. Step on the side, hold on, and come up the steps. Now you're up on the machine. You've got 2 sensors here. These are silver. And this is where you're going to hold your hands because that will read your heart rate. You've got 2 buttons. One goes faster, one goes slower. Right is faster, left is slower. And there's 2 red buttons to stop the machine on both sides. Now, there's no kill cord on this machine. And it's a slow responding machine. All of them are. So I don't want you to press and hold fast because it won't respond straight away. But when it does, you won't be able to keep up. And that's very dangerous. So I want you to wait for it to respond. So I don't choose the workouts, although you can. I use it just for what you're doing. So I go choose workout, green button, press once and wait. It will respond. You have to be patient. Top right, quick start and wait. Now it's counting down, so I get ready. When it gets to 1, it's going to start moving. And it starts very, very slowly, which is great, so you don't have to panic, right? So it starts on level 1. I don't care how slow it is right now, because with each step, if you can see, as I step through, I'm pushing with my hamstring and glute as my leg goes down behind me. This is conditioning my legs as well as getting my heart rate up. But it's a little bit slow. And I'm going to superset on here for 3 minutes. So I'll have done my set of countdown burns. I'm going to come on here for 3 minutes. I'm going to go up a level on each minute. So say I was to start on 5. I'm going to use my right hand to go 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm on level 5. I'm squeezing through my glutes, squeezing through my hamstring. And it's reading my beats per minute in the bottom right hand of the corner. I like to be 130 beats per minute is a good fat burning zone. But guess what? When you start to get faster, it's going to get a lot higher. So you've got to stay within a range that you can manage. If you're taking any kind of high blood pressure medication, be very careful. That can give a false reading on the heart rate. It can make it seem lower than it actually is. Any kind of beta blockers can do that. So feel into your body, make sure you're not feeling dizzy. After a minute, I'm going to go up a level, going a little bit faster for the second minute. And we're going to do that for 3 minutes. Once you've finished, you can press either the red button on the screen or the red button here at your hand. Press it once, press it again. And the screen will come up and give you some data, and it'll tell you what was your maximum heart rate, what was your average heart rate, how many steps did you do, how many floors you climbed. So that's really cool. Check out that data. When you're finished, you can just step off carefully. Don't worry if it moves a little bit. It's like a handbrake. It's got a bit of play in it. And then you can step down here onto a little side pump and off on the floor. And that is exercise 1, countdown burns and the Stairmaster. Exercise number 2 on our legs day workout. We're turning around now. We're going to work the hamstrings. Everybody needs to work their hamstrings and glutes, because this will really help with your lower back. If you suffer with lower back pain, you've probably got inactive glutes, and they could easily stem from not very active hamstrings. So the main hamstring is your bicep femoris. It's the bicep of the leg. Your knee is like your elbow. And then on the inside, you've got the smaller one, which is your semimembranosus. I think I'm right. And then semitendinosus is the next biggest. So you've got these hamstrings and you need to work them. This is a great machine for that. The hamstring curl. I'm a big fan of a lying hamstring curl. We do have a seated hamstring curl in our town gym. Personally, this is my favourite. Now, this is an accessory, so it is just working the hamstrings. You need to push your hips down into the pad to take the glute out of it to just isolate the hamstrings. The setup on this machine, Life Fitness, very similar to the leg extension that we did before. So we're thinking, how much flexibility have we got in our hamstrings? Because that's going to define where we sit this on the back of our ankle. If you struggle with your lower back, I would put this on 0, that it doesn't go down so far, that you can control yourself better. But if you've got good, very flexible hamstrings, then I would put it more on -1, because otherwise you're going to stretch fully and the weights will touch and you could have gone further. That's for this handle. And then where this sits, where this can actually move, so it's not just about the degree that it is, it's the positioning that it is on the back of your calf. Now, just like we said before, if you've got little limbs, you're probably going to want to have it on small. But again, it does depend on how you feel. So there's no right or wrong. So we're coming forward and we want to have our knees just off the edge. So I have got ridiculously long quads and thighs. So I have to lean forward and kind of come up on my toes a little bit. And then I've got my knees right in the edge. And it's quite cool in this gym because you've got like a mirrored wall here where you can see yourself, which is quite useful. And you're going to tip forward, take the weight on the back of your legs, tip forward, and then hold down here. If you wanted to hold around here, you could also. If you wanted to be up, you could also. This is what I mean. There's many different ways of achieving the same thing, but let's keep it simple. We're going to hold down here. I like to have my legs close together. And I like to keep my feet flexed, because also I get a bit of calves in there, which is no bad thing. Now, what you're aiming to do is kick your bum, but keep your hips pushed down into the pad. You don't want to be coming off. You want to keep down into the pad. And you're going to come slow on the lengthening. We always want to go slow on the lengthening. And then we're coming up, kick your bum, and slow on the lengthening. Now, I would do maybe 10, 15 of these. And then I like to do little finishes, which are quite clever. So I might like to do half ones at the end. These are forced extensions. So I'm coming up halfway and going all the way down. Coming up halfway and going all the way down. If you've got a training partner, you can do forced contractions, which is when they push your feet in and then you come back halfway. Push your feet in and coming back halfway. If, when you're finished, you sit yourself up like this, and be careful not to feel dizzy. If you have time